What's up everyone, it's another episode of DCU TV here. In today's episode, we're breaking down the action from New York this weekend, and looking ahead to some midweek action at Audi Field. Before we get into it, make sure to follow DCU TV on Instagram for more frequent updates. So DC United went up to Yankee Stadium this weekend to take on New York City FC. Game ended 1-1 draw. It was a hard-fought game from DC, but ultimately, New York City had way more shots, way more possession, and by the end of the game, you could say that they deserved the goal. DC United's goal came on a header from Steve Birnbaum. It was a free kick that Wayne Rooney took, looped it over the top, and Birnbaum was just there in the box, able to get over everyone, including the goalie Sean Johnson, and put it in the back of the net. In the last few minutes of the game, DC United conceded a free kick just outside of the box, and David Villa was there to smash it home, just past Bill Hamid's fingertips. He couldn't get to it. From there, we pretty much saw it the last few minutes, and it ended 1-1. With the way everything went down, it's easy to see this game as a game that DC United should have won. Granted, they were ahead, and it's just another game that DC United gave up points on the road. They were in a position to take home 3 points, ended up only getting 1 point out of the game, but going to New York City, who, despite struggling as of late, is a third-place team, coming home with 1 point is acceptable. Now, due to the international break and injuries, both teams were missing a number of players here. DC United was down to only 15 players. They had 4 subs on their bench. It was nice, though, that we got to see 4 homegrown players start for DC United. Jalen Robinson played a full 90, looked pretty good. Hark saw the field for the first time in a few games, and so did Durkin, which was great. The real story of this game was NYC's dominance over DC United. NYC had 68% possession, and it was obvious just watching the game that they controlled the state and the flow of the game pretty much throughout. They had 46 crosses to DC United's 2, and 31 shots to DC United's 2 shots. DC United defended well, and they were able to pack the box down, and the defenders blocked a lot of shots, as well as Bill Hamid making some good saves. And it's a hopeful sign for their defensive resilience, able to stop some good shot takers and really just pack in the defense, and despite giving up a lot of shots, show that they can still hold a team to only 1 goal in the. All that said, it's frustrating to see DC United play like this and not be able to get much of anything going in the offensive half of the field. In the end, it was clear that something was missing from DC United. Their ability to take the ball from defense and bring it to their offensive half of the field was pretty much non-existent. That could come down to Paulo Ariola being gone. He was with the U.S. national team, and he's coming back for the game on Wednesday. But it's something that we've seen from the team in playing better opponents like Atlanta and now New York City. There's a missing link in the middle of the field, getting from defense to offense, and something has to be done about that if they want to really compete and not get outplayed for a draw. Moving on to Wednesday's game, DC United will host Minnesota at Audi Field. It'll be a good midweek game. Minnesota is struggling right now. They're on 29 points in 26 games, which is a worse record than DC United. They are sitting in 9th place in the Western Conference, and they only have 1 road win and 1 road draw this season, with 11 road losses. This is a game that DC United should win. They're the better team here, and Minnesota's road record speaks to volumes if DC United can't get a win out of this one. Having said that, Darwin Quintero is a dangerous attacker for Minnesota. His speed can bust through lines, and considering the way that I expect this game to play out, where DC United is going to be the better team and going to be able to hold some more possession at times, they're going to have their defense pushed further up the field, which will create space for Darwin Quintero to cut through, running behind the defense. United sits in 8th right now in the East, 2 positions out of the playoffs, and only 5 points out of that playoff spot. They're only 2 points behind New England, with a game in hand, who's in 7th, and a win on Wednesday would put them back into 7th, and only 2 points out of the playoff spot. So that's all I got for this weekend wrap. Be sure to watch the game on Wednesday, and on Sunday we got the New York Red Bulls coming to town. By the end of this week, DC United could find themselves in a playoff spot, which would be huge for the team, so I'm looking forward to it. As always, be sure to subscribe.